Welcome back to the RekLes Racing League, folks. We're at Wild West today. Cameron Peterson's taking another pole. Josh Edmondson in second. Lon Franks in third. Bodie Cryer fourth. Tom Depke in fifth. We'll invert those top fives. And then Jeremy Stodorf in sixth. We'll stay there. Jack Kirk in seventh. Scott Ford in eighth. Eric Quinton in ninth. And Scott Douglas in 10th. And that's my dog, squeaking the toy. Sorry, Doug, I just called you Scott Douglas, but not a total insult because coincidentally Scott Douglas is a Pro 4 racer, so hey, look at that. Alright, so right now we're shuffling up the field to invert the starting order. The black car stopped there because he had to do some admin things, and there's my dog again. So we're going to get them all racked up here in reverse order, and I'm going to take my dog's toy away. You might be able to tell by looking at it, but this track already has some pretty severe usage on it. It's had some really fast guys going around it for a half hour of practice and 10 minutes of open practice. So it's pretty slick, as you can see the blue groove right there. This will be kind of challenging for these guys to race close on such a difficult surface. Starting order's inverted. 5th place Tom Depke is now in front, and he's going to lead us to the line. Boogity, 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 we're going green. Little bit of bumping and banging in turn 1, but not too bad considering the track conditions and the large group of cars charging into one little spot. There we go, that's more like it. Coming into turn 2 is always tough because the front of the pack slows down and the back has to slow down before they come off of that jump. Cameron Peterson, your fast qualifier, launches up the inside of Josh Edmondson there on the back straight. The whole point of the inverted starting order was to get the fast cars in the mix. Instead of letting them run away, they got to fight for it. And Cameron's already made up one of those spots and moved up into the 4th position. Josh Edmondson's no slouch though, so he's going to keep him honest here. Looks like he makes up the spot on Lon Franks. We'll see if he can hold it coming into 2. Same here. I don't think I've seen anyone make as many passes on this track as Lon Franks. So he's going to be a tough customer, but he got stuck up on the rail. That's going to change things a bit. Give Josh and Cameron a little bit of breathing room. You got to love the suspension working on these cars, the way they squat and roll and rotate and bounce. It's pretty spot on. I've been an enthusiast of this sport for a long time, and I don't see too many flaws in it. Already quite a bit of dust starting to develop here. I can't mention enough how great of a job iRacing has done at duplicating real-life racing conditions on these off-road courses. Just the track development alone, the way it slicks up in the traffic areas and the loam builds up and you can actually ride the cushion and use it and it pushes out lap after lap. Well, hats off to Tom Depke, still holding on to the top spot with some really fast people right behind him. He's literally in the hot seat right now. As fast as these guys are, they're clean though. A little bit of bumping and banging is to be expected, especially with these blue groove conditions. As you can see, the tires are turned, but the cars aren't going. You really have to choose a interesting entrance and exit to these corners because once you hit that slick surface, the car just pushes. So you either have to follow the blue groove around the outside on the cushion or take some kind of an odd line to cut across it and try to grab some good dirt on either side. And that's one nice thing about these Pro 4 cars is Cameron Peterson goes to the inside right there. He was using that fresh dirt on the inside as traction with his left front tire. He's going to give him a run on Bodie here. We'll see if he can show him a door coming into turn 4 here. Looks like he gets it done. He's able to seal it up. He sets his sights on Tom here. Cameron's going to take a tight line coming in. Looks like he might have given him a little bump there, but nothing too serious. Turn 1's going to be really hard to not make contact in because it's probably one of the slickest spots on the track right now. Cameron's going to get alongside him. We'll see if he dives back up the inside here, gets back to that good dirt. Tom's out in the blue groove. Not quite enough to get a run on him, though. Cameron goes way to the inside on 4, stays in that nice light colored dirt there where he can still get some traction and still able to get enough exit speed to try to challenge for first place here coming into 1. He checks up way early, parks it. Well, that's because it's the competition caution right now. We're gonna slow the cars down, regroup the field, and start over single file. The goal of this league was to try to duplicate Lucas off-road racing as much as possible. At least back when I used to watch it, they would have a competition caution and an inverted top 5, so why not? And they had a similar situation to where there were a couple of cars that were just running away from the field, and that doesn't make for good TV. And even though we're not broadcasting this live or anything, it's still really fun to watch. And even more fun to do, so if you want to join us, just sign up for the league, jump in. We do a fixed setup race on Wednesday, and a rookie license is accepted. Tom Depke holds on to him to the halfway point, and he's going to lead us to the line again. Turn 1, he goes a little wide, trying to stay off that blue groove. Cameron's going to dive up the inside. Lon makes a little contact with that wall, but he makes a pass on Jeremy. Bodie's going to try to run up the inside of Josh here. Or maybe he already had the spot and Josh was just challenging for it, but either way he's going to push him up the hill and try to catch those guys. Josh is a big oval racer, does a lot of NASCAR type stuff, so I'm sure he's pretty good at drafting. And surprisingly, you can draft with these trucks. We did a little race at Nürburgring a while back on the Nordschleife side of it. And you'd be surprised how big of a hole these trucks cut in the wind. Well, Cameron Peterson's gotten it done. He's gone from 5th all the way up to 1st. Looks like there might be a couple scratches on his car, but nothing too serious. The front bumper's still straight. Tom Depke falls back to the number 2 spot. We'll see if he can keep Bodie behind him. I've had several good races with Tom at this track. I know he's capable of doing it, but that's a lot of pressure when you have not just 1, but 10 cars right behind you pushing hard lap after lap for 14 laps straight. Jack Kirk's going for a pass on Douglas here. We'll see if he can get it done, going up the inside. Jack pushes a little wide on the exit. It looks like he's able to get it done. Yeah, Tom Depke has a whole lot of horsepower right behind him here. But in a real-world racing environment, these are the pressures you'll have to deal with, so what better practice than doing it in a place where no one's going to die if anything goes wrong. Bodie's going to push a little wide here. We'll see if Josh can get a run on him. If that blue groove wouldn't have been there, Josh would have been able to get some good acceleration out of that inside, but at this point in the race, you have to start looking elsewhere for traction. Or throw him a door like that, get him pushed out to the side a little bit. But unfortunately, in that particular spot, the person you throw a door can come right back and feed it back to you. Bodie doesn't, but Josh moves out of the way anyways, runs the outside of that turn. Gives him a good run up the back straight though. Jeremy's trying to cling to the inside there, so is Lon. Get some traction to keep up with these guys who are just flying right now. The lap times right now aren't super high. They're running in the low 51s and high 50s, but considering these track conditions, Cameron Peterson's only running about 50.5, when usually at this point in the race he'd be running pretty consistent 49s. These track conditions being this way were actually a mistake, but might be something worth bringing back in the future, just because these guys are too good to have an easy track. Josh still applying pressure to Bodie, but it's really not getting him anywhere on this track. Looks like Douglas is hanging on good, runs a nice line, so does Scott, so does Jack. Running right on that outside where the track's still fresh, pushing the cushion. You can start to see blue group develop even where the cars are landing. Little shiny black spots all over the track. Cameron takes a nice wide line coming into turn 3. That's the beauty of being able to check out on the field and get some clean air in front and behind you. You can run whatever line you want. Cameron was mentioning that, oh no, Tom just blew a motor on the back straight, has good presence of mind to pull off the road. Unfortunate for Tom, he was running a great race. I guess that makes sense. As hard as he was pushing to stay ahead of those guys, it just used up his car. But Cameron was saying he has a background in front wheel drive, dirt, and pavement oval racing, which we've had something like that where I'm from. We call them Hornet cars. Kind of curious if it's the same thing. The most popular car on our track, I believe, was a Ford Escort or a Ford Tempo. I think did pretty well at one point with the longer wheelbase. But that Ford motor, you could pretty much just hold it to the floor the entire race and add brake if you needed to, but not likely. Well, last lap, last corner, it looks like Bodie was able to hold Josh off. Cameron Peterson's going to take the win. Bodie Cryer second, Josh Edmondson third. Jeremy Soderp's going to get the number 4 spot. Lon Franks in 5th. Douglas Rosenquist comes across, I believe, in 9th because he was a lap down, but still ran a good race. Scott Ford, the number 6. Jack Kirk 7th. Eric Quinton 8th. And Tom Depke blew a motor to round off the 10-car field today. Great turnout. Thanks everyone for coming out. Another awesome race. Hopefully we can do it again on Wednesday for our fixed race. Everyone should jump in. Like I said, I changed that to a rookie class race as well. So any league member can join, and we hope you do. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to check out some of our other races, here they are.